that and admit. And let me also allow everybody to just come straight from the waiting room. And it looks like we are good there. Looks like we're live and we're golden. So awesome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us again on this awesome Tuesday. Every week and Tuesday at 6 p.m., we host these Coherence Meditations. And tonight's meditation is around the Pituitary Gland. So today is June 20th, 2023. And I will hand it off to you, Seth. Welcome,
Awesome.
welcome.
Yes, thank you. And hello to everybody out there. How's my sound? Is it good?
Awesome. Perfect.
Okay. So before we get started, I've had people reach out and ask if there's going to be different themed meditations, like whether it's for addiction or healthy habits, or there's countless, abundance, like all these different topics are available. But we're starting off with the bodily systems or the medical kind of meditations, because it is so powerful when somebody really gets their entire body in shape, you could say. And I'm not talking about physical shape, I'm talking about energetic, all right, let's look at it this way. So there's something causing the heart to beat, right? There's something in us and around us that is incomprehensibly more intelligent than I am. I'll take that. But whatever this is, whatever is causing that, you could say it's the divine. It's some kind of bioenergetic frequency that clearly is really, really intelligent. And I learned that when I focus my attention anywhere in my body, like anywhere, it could be essentially just by the act of choosing to tune into it, my attention would amplify the energy that's already in our bodies doing all this stuff, because they're not separate. They're not separate at all. But we in this world, whether through societal conditioning or cultural conditioning, or there's a host of different things that could be making us feel like, it's me, I'm separate, I don't feel connected to the divine, or the infinite quantum field, whatever we want to give that. But when we do this, when we take time to become conscious of the consciousness in us that's animating our being and letting us exist, the amplification that takes place with your focus on your own divine energy, if you want to call it that, it creates an amplification that no matter what anyone has going on in their body, when you get really good, even if it's only for 5 minutes a day, but you sit down and you get into a peaceful state and you start to tune in, that's when things begin to happen. And when you are energetically in harmony with your body, then the ability to develop your consciousness just becomes a natural extension of that. And the whole thing of trying to get everybody to feel their pulse anywhere is to work all of us up to get to where you can feel your pulse. And like today, we're going to focus on the pituitary gland. When you focus on all these different systems of your body with your own awareness, that's coming from a much greater awareness, you literally begin to release any kinds of stagnation or division or whatever it could be. Like all of that stuff goes away. So focusing on bodily systems, on the innate infinite intelligence that's in our bodies, allowing us to exist. When you get into that and you get pretty decent at feeling your pulse, you're building new neural architecture at whatever point you're focusing on, that it's almost like you start to form new memories. You start to form the recognition that indeed we are, everything is so in tune with life itself. The only things that don't seem like they're in tune are a human consciousness that feels separate, right? And usually that comes from society, whatever kind of culture or societal conditioning, that has such a great effect on us, on our ancestors. Like, this has been going on for a while. So we're choosing to break those cycles by healing them, I guess you could say. Just the act of becoming conscious of all of this stuff in our body. So the point is, when you get proficient at doing that, then we're going to focus on, there's a plethora of different systems and things or whatever in the world. But I want to get everybody feeling what it's like to be so in tune with your being that the separation just starts to dissipate. And it will do that. And even if somebody isn't able to feel their heartbeat anywhere in their body, just keep at it. You can just keep your attention focused there, but keep working, getting it to calm until you can start to feel your pulse. Because when you can feel your pulse and you know where certain glands are and other bodily systems, you wake that stuff up. And when you're conscious of it, your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, these things are regulating our bodies, whether we're awake or asleep. And so to be awake and to consciously and intentionally merge the person you think you are with the life force that is allowing us to be who and what it is that we think we are. This is the 100th monkey thing that we're going for here. We want to get as many people as possible to be in these harmonized states so that, you get to a point where it's like the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious mind, you could say, they start to bridge together. And when that happens, you remember why you're here. You remember who you are, all the great mysteries that humans have been asking since who knows when. All that stuff becomes self-evident. And when it becomes self-evident, that's what gives somebody the ability to truly be empowered, to take all the conscious and unconscious parts of who and what we think we are and phase them together. So I just wanted to explain that before we get started, because these aren't just meditations. Our overall intention is to get as many people together in harmony with all the systems of their body, and then all of us together, which, like a guitar string, you hit one string and the other strings start to vibrate. Sympathetic resonance, they call that. But when you get good at it, and we get good at it together, that's where world change is really going to begin from. Enough of us choosing to change the parts of us that are focused on everything else in the world, but the consciousness that allows us to exist. That's what we're going for. That's what we're going to do. And it's what we're doing. And I know you guys wouldn't be here if you didn't feel something similar. So I just want to kind of do that long introduction about this, because I want to get kind of more clear on why we're here. So, all right, I'm going to shut my light. Is that okay, Greg? All right, perfect. Try to keep the artificial lights off me when I can. So everybody, relax. Wherever you're sitting or laying down, let that surface just hold you. Start to breathe slow but deep. Put a little bit of a smile on your face to remind you that you're not alone. None of us are alone. We are all in this together, even if we're not able to recognize that. We eventually will. So as you're breathing slowly, you have that little smile, you're feeling the joy, the happiness, the whatever it is that that smile feels like for you. You let that be your intention. One of your greatest reasons for coming to these meditations and to experience what it's like with others doing that. So as you're breathing gently but deep, very slow, but very consistent, you're feeling that little smile and whatever it represents to you. Take your attention and focus it at the very top of your head. And let your body just start to almost like a holographic vision that you have where you start to scroll down on your body. Just take your awareness and let it gently fall down. And while it's coming down, you're feeling if there's any tension anywhere, you're letting it go. So from the top of the head, let yourself relax and scan your body and your energy field through your head, top of your head, through your face, the back of your head, your throat, your neck. All you're doing is you're just giving yourself and your body a little bit of permission to relax so that it can begin doing what it does that is beyond profundity. Relax your shoulders. Relax the top part of your chest and your back. As your attention's going down, you're going to let your hands, your fingers, your forearms, your biceps and triceps, you're just going to let all of it completely relax. And now, when you're in your heart, you start to relax your whole chest area. The middle of your back, down into your torso, where all the vital organs of our existence are, and they're all working together. Relax your tummy. Relax the back top, kind of middle top of your back. Let it drop further to the bottom of your back. Focus on your pelvic floor and all the organs and glands that are in there. Just give them an opportunity to relax while you're conscious of it. Relax the top part of your leg, the back part of your legs, your knees, your calves, shin bone, your feet, your toes. You're letting everything in your body relax. Keep breathing rhythmically. Relax all the muscles on your face. And if you're able to go into the back middle of your head where your spinal column connects into your brain, let yourself tap into that. We all have a mammalian brain. We have a reptilian brain. And the brain stem connects so beautifully into that. And as you get into your spine, focus your attention going down while you're relaxing. Literally just focusing on your spine and letting yourself completely relax. I know other practices will have people bring that energy up from the base of their spine to their head. It's not what we're going to do. We're going to go the opposite way. We're going to take all this energy of who and what we think we are, and we're going to start sending it down into our body. We do that because where we're at right now, you could almost look at it like there's a disproportionate part of energy that seems to be concentrating in our head, in the prefrontal cortex. And we just want to gently get that energy moving. Get it moving down your spinal column. Someday we will bring that energy up through your spine, through your body. But for now, we're just going to let it relax. Almost like a single feather from a newborn chick. His feather is up in the air and it's just going back and forth, almost as light as air itself. Let yourself feel that much lightness. And when you start to feel the feelings of being completely at peace with your entire body, it brings another little smile. Because as we work on this over time and you start to feel and experience the results, it is just magic. It is so beautiful. It's so beautiful that the more you ruminate on it or focus on it or allow yourself to be harmonized by it, at some point, you'll just start crying tears of joy because you become so grateful that you're here, that we are here, and that everything, no matter how difficult it can appear to be in our world, you're just making peace with that, and you're grateful that everything is the way it is because you're choosing to rise above it. And you're choosing to rise above it because you are consciously taking time to become conscious of the consciousness that you really are and that we all are. So as you're totally relaxed and you have that little smile on your face and you're breathing gently, you're creating a rhythm that eventually will syncopate with your heart. And you can begin to feel your heartbeat so much that you can then attune your breathing to it. That's what we're working towards. And we will get there. So a little bit more smiling, deeper breathing, slow. Start to place your attention on both your head with your brain and your heart. Allow yourself to be aware of both of those parts of your body simultaneously. And really smile just for a little bit. Put a big smile on your face or something that makes you or reminds you what it was like when we were children, or we started experiencing all the adversity and all the belief systems and everything that we think we are according to a world that is hyper focused on all of that. We're choosing to rise above it by making a focus on what it actually is that allows you to rise above it. As you're smiling, breathing, and allowing yourself to be aware of your head and heart at the same time. Let that awareness drop right into the middle of your belly. So you're taking the coherence of your heart and your mind, and you're intentionally bringing it into the middle of your stomach, basically like a couple inches inside of your belly button. Keep your focus on that. The joy you feel from smiling, the heart and brain coherence that we are consciously acknowledging and turning on. We're allowing all of that to be present, almost like our face and our consciousness were right inside of our belly. Almost like you could see out of that part of your body. Because at some point you're going to realize you can. Do a very gentle body scan. Just scan your entire body really quickly, but very slowly at the same time, very gently. And if you feel any resistance, let your breath, your smile, and your conscious coherence inside your body, let that be what you rest into. If you're breathing, you feel any resistance, let that resistance meet the conscious coherence that you're creating in your body. You're able to intentionally be aware of what I would call a holographic overlay, which is something that eventually begins to happen. You start being so aware of all the systems of your body and how interrelated all of it is, and how much happier it and your body feels when you get into these states. A holographic overlay or an image of your entire body starts to become mapped in your head and all throughout the different areas of our body where we have neurons, plexes, which is just a gangle of nerves all together. We are creating a new state of being that is overriding all of the old limitations that we're ready to leave behind. So if you can see that, if you can feel what that overlay might be like, let yourself do that. Because over time, as you practice this more, you'll get really good at viewing the inside of yourself in that way. And when that ability starts to come, you'll be able to use the different points or energies or frequencies or spots in your body. You can use that overlay to literally turn on or activate or amplify any system in your body or any place where there's pain. So you're breathing gently, rhythmically. You're completely relaxed. You're feeling your pulse throughout your whole body. Or if not, you're just focused on it. Take your awareness and bring it right to the front of your head. Behind your eyes and towards the middle of your brain, there is a P-shaped organ, a gland that is in the organ. And that gland, the pituitary gland, it's called the master gland. And it's called that because it encourages and allows other glands to function in your body. The pituitary gland causes all these other glands in your body to regulate or submit or allow hormones and chemical signals that are all through all of us. It begins to bring it into balance. So as you're focusing on your pituitary gland, behind your eyes, closer to the inside of your brain, almost right back of your eyes and just down a little bit, you are focused on that pea-sized gland. And I know it might sound kind of weird, but try your best to completely relax your brain. If you can feel your pulse in the area of your pituitary gland, you don't even need to be right where it is. But if you can feel your pulse, the beat of your heart, you can feel it in that part of your head, behind your eyes and nose, into that little area that's referred to as the master gland. This is why it's so important. Focus on that. And if you can feel your pulse, allow yourself to really be focused on it. If you can't feel your pulse, just keep your attention focused right in that area. And to whatever degree that we're using concentration to focus on this gland, while you're concentrating on it, another part of you at the same time is in expansion. It almost seems hypocritical or diabolical or not in harmony with what the way we think things work. But that's exactly how they do. Different polarities, different points of concentration, and then expansion into the infinite awareness that we all are, that everything is. Even though it seems like two different points, it's not. It's creating a circuit, a closed loop, spiral. It can seem like it's fractal. Pituitary gland, if you start to feel it and your heart is beating in it, or your focus is on it, it will let you know that it recognizes your efforts. And when this begins to happen, where the organs of your body start to reveal to your now conscious mind, and they begin to reveal that the relationship between who and what you think you are and what it is you really are, this complete quantum energy field, when you're able to be so in tune with your focus, focusing on the divine or the quantum inside of you. Your body lets you know. And you are giving it permission to do what it does so best without your conditioned mind interfering with it. If you can take your tongue and put it to the palate, the top of your, right behind your teeth, you can just place your tongue right between the top of your mouth and your teeth and just keep it there. If it is causing a struggle, don't worry, don't do it. But if you can keep it there in a relaxed way, just do that. By putting your tongue to the top of your head, top of your mouth, you start creating bigger loops, the microcosmic orbit, the macrocosmic orbit. Collect and connect all of the channels in the front and in the back of your body to your own conscious awareness. And putting your tongue on the roof of your mouth will enable all of that. As you're breathing, you're choosing to get even more relaxed. As you're able to just completely let go and allow yourself to feel as relaxed as you can, while your attention is still on your pituitary gland, behind the eyes, closer to the middle of your head. Keep your focus so that you are feeling your pulse in your pituitary gland. You're feeling the coherence of your heart and your brain and your belly and all the other systems of your body. You may not be able to be fully conscious of all of it as it is, but this is why, one of the biggest reasons why we do this. When these greater holographic overlays that map out the entire body, once they start to develop and you're able to get those images to be consistently in your awareness, you're able to detect any imbalance, anything that makes you kind of knocked off course or causes your body to get out of balance. You're able to repair that in a split second just by being conscious of it, just by referencing the holographic map that we are all working on right now. So your pituitary gland, your brain, your heart, and your belly. It's like there's a column of energy just floating and flowing through this entire part of your being. It's almost like seeing and feeling a double, triple, quadruple helix strand of DNA. It is both evolving and spinning as fractals, but also causing big energy that is in you, that is stuck in places that can hurt us. We are letting all of that go. And we are feeling our own consciousness amplifying the coherence that we feel in our body. We're focusing on that so clearly that the amplification of your coherent bodily systems is in tune with your own consciousness. They never were not. They were always in tune. You just forgot for a moment. And now we're remembering. So very gently take your hands, your palms, start to roll them around, create friction, create heat. And whenever there's a good enough amount of warmth, take the palms of your hand and put them over each eye. Just keep breathing, gentle, happy, rhythmic. And as you put your hands over your eyes, take a little mental note. If you see any kind of holographic imagery or anything like that, just let yourself remember what it feels like and what it looks like, because it will develop greater and greater over time. Now take your fingers and just start tapping gently the top of your forehead and work your way down. Tap any of the places that feel comfortable. If you have certain pain when you're touching somewhere, make a note of that too. Because all the points in the face are related to organs in our bodies. And then take your fingers and gently massage your ears. Totally relaxed. Let yourself really feel your ears. They do so much more than hear. the more we develop all of these systems of our body in harmony with each other, the more all these different senses or sensory abilities start to come online. And when you feel up to it, you can open your eyes. Or if you feel like you're in a place that you want to keep going, you can hang up this call and just continue to stay in that space. Oh, Greg, I just realized you put that image up. That's fantastic.
Yes. I was kind of wondering myself, exact location.
It's really like right in the middle of the head.
Literally.
Yeah, everybody who's here, take note of that. I joke around a lot, and I always mention that my organs are my best friends in my family. They are the friends of mine that are doing so much work to keep me here. How can I not acknowledge them? How can we as a species not acknowledge the infinite intelligence of these bodies? But that's why we're doing it now.
That actually might be a good idea to put a little image
Yep.
to your future sessions.
Well, next week we're going to do the pineal gland. Although we may, just so everybody knows, I might be gone Tuesday, but Greg and I are trying to figure out what could work in place of me being gone, or if we just wait. But yeah, next is the pineal gland. And, you know, a lot of people have heard about that and they understand it. And to get consciously in tune with feeling it and focusing on it, yeah, amazing things begin to happen. That's where all that vision or that imagery of a holographic overlay really begin to kick into gear. So
that's a little bit larger than a pea size.
yeah, I was thinking, well, I thought it was just a little bit closer to the eye, but that's all right. We can,
Okay.
it's again, it's not an exact science. It doesn't need to be. We'll
get
just
a pine cone for next week.
Well, if anybody has any questions or anything at all they want to share, feel free, put up your hand.
So inside Zoom, there's a raised hand. You just click on that. So here's a question then. Okay, I was thinking about this lately. We've been doing things in a certain order, I guess, you know, to begin with. We started, wow, I think it's been like 2 months now, right? Maybe longer. You know, but I think we started you know, just with basic, you know, heart, brain, coherence, went into all that. We went into, respiratory system, you know, some other systems, and then, you know, we're now focusing on pituitary gland next week, or I'm sorry, pituitary gland, then pineal gland for next week. Is it any kind of certain order that you like tackling these in, like, you know, starting from like the top down maybe, or does it really matter at all? Because they all just
No, it's a great question. So
all correlate to each other.
yeah, the pineal gland is actually a little bit higher than the pituitary gland. So, like, you know, you'd think that that's the top, but I wanted to focus on the pituitary gland because it is called the master gland. It's like it does more for all the other glands in our body than any other gland does on its own. So, and then the other thing too is like the Kundalini and all these ideas of people having these awakenings are fantastic. But to have some kind of energy awaken at your spine and just shoot right into your pineal gland, cause those little crystals inside of it to compress and explode, it can be too much unless people get really good, you know, because that's why I was saying, like, we start with our focus and we start letting it go down into and all through our body. And then at some point we get a lot better at it. And then we can start bringing the energy in different ways and we'll have a better grasp or idea of what that feels like. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's another little thing here. I was thinking about this too. So different chakras. I just kind of learned obviously the different frequencies each one of our chakras is in tune with. So I found that interesting. And maybe if we have, like, I was looking at these pitching, these tuning forks and everything. I kind of learned a little bit more about this, but it was kind of interesting nonetheless. But as we're maybe listening to these on our own, if we have the ability to maybe do a YouTube and then the frequency or something, maybe that would help. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because for a long time when I was younger, I would see these chakra systems and I couldn't tell if it was there or not. You know, I'm like, is it really there? I don't see all those beautiful geometries. However, doing this work and focusing on these bodily systems, it allows the frequency of your body to be in a place where those kinds of, you know, chakras, or they start to develop as a result of a coherent body in different places. So, and the one that is around our entire being, like our thoughts send out bioelectrical energy and our heart sends and receives magnetic energy, and all of it working together, we are signals. We're like towers of healthy energy in tune with this planet, with the universe. It's anyway, we're working towards it.
Awesome. I don't see any questions coming in from YouTube land or Facebook. If anybody has any questions, feel free to post those. We have about a 15-second delay over there. Otherwise on Zoom, if anybody has some questions, go ahead, raise your hand, chime in.
And if not, then next week we'll let everybody know what the plan is. We're talking about potentially doing it this Sunday night instead of Tuesday. And then they'll be consistent after that. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. So thank you, Grandpa Bill. I see you there. Aw.
All right.
Well, Greg, thank you so much for getting this going.
My pleasure.
And everybody else for coming. Yeah.
So every week we host these at 6 p.m. Eastern, with the exception of possibly for next week. Our channel on YouTube is Cosmic Gaia Community. Feel free to head there and please subscribe, like this, share this. Everybody in Facebook, please do that as well. We'd appreciate it. Let's get that 100th monkey, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.